welcome back to Now You're Talking with me, Jessie Marson Cabbage. And we have a couple of dummies in the room. I'm going to leave that open to your comments, keep them to yourselves, but we do have some dummies on the table, and if we can pan into the camera, we can see that we have, I'm going to call him Fred. Alright, we have Fred here with us today, and we also have baby Ann with us as well, but this lady here, she is no dummy. This is Alexa Norris, and she is who helps save lives at Lake Park. She is a lifeguard at the Lake Park Aquatic Center. And I thought it'd be nice to have her come on and explain maybe some basic CPR and also maybe the do's and don'ts if somebody is drowning. If we all know Dustin that works here, he's about 6'5" on a good day, or about 6'6", and maybe in 5'3", I probably cannot save him if he is drowning. But, so what are the things that we should have around in case he was drowning, or what should we do, what shouldn't we do, and those types of things. So, Alexa, can you first start off by telling me, you've been a lifeguard for 4 years at Lake Park. What are some of the basic things that you should have around if you're swimming at Lake Park, or if you're swimming in a pool in your backyard, or at a friend's house, or even like maybe if you're tubing in the river?
Always life jackets, no matter where you are, whether you're at the pool for your kids or if you're in the river especially, because that can always help in saving someone else.
Okay. Now, what are the things you should do if somebody is drowning or maybe in danger in the water?
Never panic, because that always causes panic with them as well. If you do have a life jacket, always secure that on yourself. That can always help you and the other person stay afloat.
Okay, and what are the things you shouldn't do if somebody is drowning?
Never try to save someone and put yourself in danger, because it's not going to help if both of you drown. If someone's trying to take you down, you always swim away and make sure that they're calm when you're trying to save them.
Okay. And honestly, is there, maybe in 5'3" and shorter, should I try to save somebody like who is 6'6" or 6'5", or should I just throw a life jacket at them, or what should I do?
If you have the right equipment, always save someone who's drowning. A life jacket's always great if you can get it to them. That's always a good thing to throw, but there's always that chance that it doesn't get to them. So it's always better to secure yourself and then go to get them. And once you've got to them, normally the panic stops.
So always, number one, life jacket. All right. Now, what are some of the basic CPR moves that people should know or should know how to do in case they've rescued somebody out of the water and maybe they're not breathing?
Always check if they're conscious first.
And how would you check that?
Just by shaking. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do? If you have no reply, always call 911. First thing, if someone's unconscious. And then if you're not sure if they're breathing, you always want to look, listen, and feel, which is you're going to place your ear above their mouth, facing their chest, watch for their chest moving up and down, listen for breaths, and feeling for a pulse under their neck.
Now, have you had to ever administer CPR to someone before?
Luckily, no, just these dummies at the Red Cross.
We'll leave that open for comments later. Okay, and have you ever saved anybody's life before at Lake Park? Have you had to go in and dive after somebody?
Always. There's always kids who don't realize how deep some of the things are, or who just get caught up in the current by the slides, but we're lucky enough to have so many great lifeguards that no one's drowned in the 4 years I've been there.
Well, that's a good thing. Now, if someone is drowning, let's say at Lake Park, should like the mother jump in and try to save them too, or just leave it to the professionals, leave it to the lifeguards?
We always say leave it to the lifeguards, but of course that's so hard for a parent to do when watching your kid. We've had parents who aren't even around, and so sometimes that's even better because we can save them without any panic from the parents, but we also have had parents jump in and kind of do our job for us, which makes it even more difficult if they start to have trouble swimming as well while saving their child.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get into the basics, the things that you should know for administering CPR. And so we did look, listen, and feel. So what's next?
Alright, so if you don't see, feel, or hear anything, you want to administer 2 rescue breaths, which I have my CPR mask. You at home, when you're around your pool, may not have a CPR mask, which is fine. You can always just plug the nose and breathe into the mouth, and you always want to tilt the head back to make sure the airway is open. And I'm going to use my mask. And then you want to administer 2 breaths, and don't, you just want to take a normal breath, or you're going to completely just fill their lungs and their stomach with air. So just a regular breath. And then you're going to look, listen, and feel again. And if there's again nothing, you're going to administer 2 breaths, and you're going to do 30 compressions. And the ironic thing is that you're going to do it to the beat of Staying Alive. So,
can somebody in the audience please give me a beat for Staying Alive?
So
Brad Fuller, you're back there. Come on.
It's going to be staying alive, staying alive. And 30 compressions on their breastbone.
Okay, now on the breastbone, you know you have the rib cage and everything. Is there like do you do it in between the rib cage or on
right
the
in the center?
Right in the center of the breastbone. Okay. So you do 30 of those.
And then you'll alternate with breaths and 30 compressions until you may have to switch with someone else or the squad gets there.
Okay. So we just now saved Fred's life with CPR. Now what about baby Ann? Is she, because she is a baby, is it different?
You are still going to look, listen, and feel, but instead of feeling for a pulse under the neck, you're going to feel right in the crease of their arm. And then when you administer 2 rescue breaths, if you don't have a mask, it's going to be the same thing. Plug the nose with short breaths. But when you have a mask, you're going to flip it upside down. We have a nose hole up here for adults, but we're going to flip it the other way to make sure that we've covered the mouth. And then we're going to administer 2 life breaths. And then we're going to give 30 compressions again. And it's going to be with our 2 fingers and right where the breastbone is again. And don't go too hard.
So don't go to Staying Alive on that one?
No, Staying Alive again, just not as hard.
It's not as hard. It's not a strong beat. Just,
right.
All right. Okay. Alexa, anything else that you can give us on life-saving tips for if you're swimming in the backyard or if you're tubing on the river or if you're swimming at Lake Park?
One of the biggest things is just not to panic. As long as you stay calm, it's easier for everyone else to stay calm as well.
All right. Well, once again, this is Alexa Norris, and I definitely enjoyed her time being here, and also with Fred and baby Ann. So, and thank you to the Coshocton County, or the American Red Cross here in Coshocton County for letting us use their dummies. We really appreciate that. And you have been watching Now You're Talking with me, Jessie Marcinkiewicz, on www.coshoctontv.com, Coshocton's online TV station.